Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. A little bit of a follow-up on the Peter Murrell story. And to be honest, my smile hasn't left my face since about 11 o'clock this morning. But Alex Salmond has given his reaction to the breaking news. And he said he's very sad. I think Alex Salmond will be dancing a little jig in private at the news. He, of course, is likely to pick up an absolute rake of support over this incident. People will be starting to doubt their membership of the SNP, and who else have they got to go to other than Salmond and his Alaba party? So we will take a look at Salmond's reaction and sort of dissect a little bit further into what's going on. And there's a couple of things I would like to add, sort of beyond what the article says. It's just stuff that's cropped up and thoughts that I've had. So bear with me on that front. However, here we are. I shall just launch this in and we'll have a look at this article now. So we have this piece in the Scottish Daily Record here. Alex Salmond very sad for SNP after arrest of Peter Murrell as party finances investigated. I think the very sad is probably a lie. I don't think he's very sad at all. I could be wrong, but I suspect he's over the moon, overjoyed, just absolutely filled with hope and aspirations for the future. Murrell was arrested on Wednesday morning in connection with an investigation into the funding and finances of the SNP. See my video earlier. Alex Salmond has said he is very sad about what is happening to the SNP following the arrest of Nicola Sturgeon's husband, Peter Murrell. Murrell was arrested on Wednesday morning in connection with an investigation into the funding and finances of the SNP, as we've covered. The 58-year-old remains in custody as of now and is still being questioned by detectives. Now, I get it that they've arrested him and that, but they actually went and arrested him in his own home. Normally, something like this, it would be by invite, but it's strange that they went to his house. But then when they turned up en masse with forensic teams and they've put like the forensic tent in front of the house, it makes you wonder what else is going on. What else is behind that? Surely accountants don't need forensic booths and don't need forensic measures. So it makes you wonder, has he done something to Nicola perhaps? Who knows? This is speculation on my part. But anyway, the couple's home was cordoned off this morning by police officers and the party's offices were raided by police. Former First Minister Salmond was walking into the BBC Edinburgh's office just 25 metres away from the headquarters of the SNP when he spoke to media. Of course, they've nabbed him straight away and said, what do you think's going on? And of course, he's having a field day over this, as we all are, to be honest, aren't we? We're all enjoying today. Today is one of those marvellous days. Children will be talking about it for generations to come. Where were you when this happened? Where were you when you heard Murrell had been arrested? He said it's a very live investigation, so he couldn't really comment on the specifics. He said, I led the SNP for a long time, so I'm very sad about what's happening to it and indeed what it's become. And it's after you left, it became a hotbed of hatred and division. He said, we should remember that the cause of independence and the case for it has never been stronger, and that's what myself and Alaba are concentrating on putting forward. And he's pushing that forward, and he made a point of mentioning that. He's made a point, that is a reach out. If anything is so blatantly a reach out, it is that. And I don't blame him. You can't blame him. Salmond led the SNP for two 10-year periods between 1990 and 2000, and between 2000 and 2014. Sturgeon was his deputy for the second period before becoming SNP leader and First Minister. Murrell worked alongside Salmond as party CEO, having held the role from 1999 until last month. He held the role for 23 years, or nearly 24. You get him for 24 years. He should never be allowed to hold that role for that long. Nobody should hold a role in politics for that long. It invites pecuniary delectations. I've got to be careful about how I phrase things. Let's just say that leadeth me not into temptation. And when you are in a position so long and that you know it inside out, you have built relationships with the people who are maybe in a position to control some of your actions. that kind of thing. Purely speculation. And we're not talking about Peter Murrell here. We're talking about anybody in any position that they hold for that long, where there is insufficient oversight. Then, of course, things become very tempting indeed. And it's a case of lack of control more than anything else. But any wise party would have swapped people around, moved him out of the role. Every 3-4 years, you get swapped around, you become this, that, and the other. And the whole game changes regularly. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how you safeguard and ensure that there's no speculation. There's no intrinsic ability to do anything that would be seen as corrupt. But anyway, that never happened, and that's why we're sitting in the position we're in today. Anyway, getting back to it, I keep going off at tangents, don't I? Anyway, Salmond left the party in 2018 amid allegations of sexual misconduct that later turned out to be completely wrong, and he was completely vindicated. No one will say otherwise. He was charged with 14 offences, but was acquitted in 2020. He's since criticised Sturgeon for the investigation into the allegations. She leapt on that bandwagon. She offered him not one comfort, not one crumb of comfort, not one hand of friendship during that. She dropped him like a hot potato, and yet he was completely innocent and vindicated in his innocence. And I want to make it completely clear. I don't like the man. I don't like his politics, but I will stand up and say he was absolutely, completely innocent of all charges. And what happened to him, again, from the SNP, that hate-filled organisation, was kind of disgusting. An organisation he'd given his life's work to, treated him so appallingly. But I don't expect anything better from this bunch. Now, Salmond is now the leader of the pro-independence Alba party. So well done to him for moving on and at least picking himself up, dusting himself down and starting all over again. But I think he's going to start tomorrow with a lot more people in his party. I think this is all... the whole edifice of the SNP is crumbling every day. You see it. I mean, I can produce 2-3 videos a day about things the SNP are saying and doing, their record, everything. That shouldn't be the case. This should not be the case. I am in a position to do this day after day after day with fresh stuff, fresh news, fresh allegations, fresh police investigations. This is how bad the SNP has got. But hey, it is what it is. But the getting back to where I was going to go. At the beginning, I said that there was a couple of things that I wanted to add over and beyond this article, which is just the end of the article now. You see, just his reaction. But it was the booth. It was this how can we put it? This forensic booth that they've put over the house. Now, what else is going on? Why would you have the booth there? This stinks. You would have the booth. Why is CSI Edinburgh involved with this? This little forensic tent. Something else is being investigated. You don't put a forensic tent up for accountants. So it makes you wonder. Now, I know there's been allegations of a certain nature in the past. The old lavender marriage isn't as strong as it used to be. I do foresee the parting of the ways, much like the Schofields, perhaps. Not going to get into that story here and now. But, it makes you wonder what else there is. And has anyone seen Nicola recently? Is she still alive? Is she well? Is she healthy? Who knows? She seems to be keeping a very low profile. Anyway, enough scurrilous rumour. I shall come up and round off the video, but it's just these observations that you see and you can't help yourself. But anyway, coming up. Well, yes, I think undoubtedly Alex Salmond will be rubbing his hands in unexpurgated delight this evening. He will pour himself a very large dram, fix himself in front of the television and watch the news as it comes in. But we have to ask where Nicola is. She hasn't been seen. She hasn't made a comment. Humza is keeping a low profile. They're all getting their heads down, tin hats out, and hunkering down, really, in the trenches. Because they know the fallout from this is going to be absolutely immense. Now, I will say, I'm going to prep you all up, because tomorrow there's going to be another video on this. But it's not going to be sort of this side of it unless anything breaking happens. No, tomorrow's I'm definitely going to be doing a video tomorrow on Humza Yousaf's FMQs, because I think tomorrow is going to be absolute popcorn television. Everyone in that chamber will be, I mean, they'll be fighting and jostling to get to ask the questions. The questions will come thick and fast, and you can guarantee there's going to be lots of them about this subject. And I want to see Humza struggle, because you know he can't think on his feet. He's going to be sitting there with his policy wonks tonight going, who's going to ask me? What are the questions they're going to ask me? What they're going to say? What they're going to say? And meanwhile, of course, the people in the Tory party, people in the Labour Party, and in the the Lib Dems, I was going to say the Greens, not the Greens. They will be asking questions, and they're going to try and come up with even better ones that they know that Humza won't be able to answer. I even suspect there'll be people on the SNP side of the fence that'll be wanting questions answered. And who knows? Will Kate Forbes get to her feet tomorrow? Will she ask any pertinent questions? I do hope so. I would love and pay good money to see that. Anyway, I shall round off here. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, please hit that button there, subscribe, ring that bell for notification of future output. Definitely leave a like, because it will really boost this one in the ratings. Definitely leave a comment. Please share the video. And until next time, tomorrow, hopefully, look after yourself, keep well, stay strong. Let us burn this story at both ends. Let the flame light us on our way to the truth. It is fantastic. And goodbye.